Hey guys, it's Liz and we're flipping things, and today I'm going to be showing you how I
and like and subscribe.
It's a little early for that. But how I track everything, and the spreadsheet that I created and I use to track everything I'm selling on eBay. I actually have a very similar sheet that I use for Amazon FBA. A little bit different because there's no storage included. Everything just gets shipped right off to Amazon. But I'm going to show you, I didn't really use a template on this. I just basically picked the categories that are most important to me in terms of whether I'm profitable, where the stuff is stored. So I was going to go through that today and show you. And if you have any questions or if you'd like to see the same thing for Amazon, let me know in the comments and I'll do the same. So I hope it's interesting. I don't know. Are spreadsheets ever interesting? An analyst would tell you yes. I'm not an analyst. At one point in my life, I actually was. I was a food and beverage analyst. This was a long time ago in casinos in Las Vegas. But it's not the most fun, okay? Spreadsheets are not the most fun or the most exciting, but it is an important piece of a reselling business, is making sure that you have good records and that you're tracking and you know where things are when they get ordered. So stay tuned. Okay, so welcome back to my channel. For those of you that don't know or you're new here, I am a mom of 3 boys, one who just graduated from high school, one who's in 5th grade, and this guy
is Trevor. This is Liz.
This is Trevor, and this is Liz. Trevor's in 1st grade, and it's been a kind of crazy year. I did corporate marketing for national parks for the last several years, and in April I was furloughed from work. At the same time, my kids became like homeschooled, not by my choice. And so I have started reselling to sort of fill the gap while I'm furloughed from work, which I still am. And while I sort of need to be home because my boys need someone here to be teaching them. Even right now, my kids are on a partially virtual schedule, which means they go to school 2 days a week and they're home and virtual 3 days a week. My 10-year-old Matthew, who's in 5th grade, his school actually just shut down this week because of too many COVID cases. So now he's home fully. Right now, it's only supposed to be for a week, but we don't know. We don't know. It's 2020. We don't know. But reselling has allowed me to be able to still bring some income in for the household, while being here for my boys, which is supposed to be and should be and is top priority. And I'm YouTubing the journey because it's been a kind of crazy journey. So today I am actually going to be talking about how I sort of track what I am selling on eBay, and going through the spreadsheet that I created. It's super basic. It is not, there's no macros in here. It's super basic, but it's exactly what I need to, one, always know where my items are when someone orders them. My storage system currently is a bunch of huge, like the big Rubbermaid containers that I've just got labeled like A, B, C, D, E. And then some things are like hung up in closets, like coats and things like that. But I need to know where my items are. I like to know where I purchased the item because if it's replenishable, I want to be able to buy it again. I like to know my sell-through rate, meaning how long did it actually take for this item to sell. And obviously, I like to know my profit. So I'm going to share the spreadsheet with you. I actually do a very similar spreadsheet for Amazon FBA, which I'll sort of show you a little bit. I have not been using that one as consistently because I find the analytics within Amazon to be better than what I was tracking myself. What I do continue to track is where I purchased the item and if it's profitable and replenishable, I want to know that it's profitable, and I want to be able to know I can go back and purchase it over and over and send it into Amazon. But today we're going to go through the eBay spreadsheet. So I'm going to switch right now, over to the computer and sort of show you guys what we've got. So mine is just sorted by date, meaning from the date, the first thing I listed, which was June 29th. So let's start right here. Here's the sheet, and you can see, I mean, it's pretty long at this point. I've got a lot. Anything that is green has sold. Those are my sold items. So let's go through the categories. So first I have item, obviously right here. And this is all the items that I've got for sale or that have sold. The next is my cost of purchase. So as I go down, you can see like these zeros, or nothing, are items that I already had in my house. Or more recently I've received for free. You can see that was some retail arbitrage here where I bought it for $10. This was a this hasn't sold. Mug Life. This is some Campbell's mugs. They're from 1997. I got 2 of them for $5 at the Goodwill. So the cost, or what I paid for the product, is right here in the first column B. The next column is where I sourced the item. So you can see these are home. I sourced these at home. I'm always sourcing stuff at home if I can. Dollar General, Target, Goodwill, Salvation Army, and it goes down. So you can see sort of when I started doing a little bit of retail arbitrage, which mostly I do for Amazon, but I do it on eBay as well, because sometimes it's a great product and I'm gated on Amazon. Well, I still want to sell it. So you can see here, I got this at TJ Maxx, both of these, Marshalls, garage sales. It's July, garage sales. I love the garage sales. You can see when the garage sales started in Buffalo in July. My favorite time of year. The next column is location. And so that is actually where I keep the item. I don't think I'm going to take you guys down into the basement because it's really messy. That's where the boys have like their video games, and it's messy. I have all of my big Rubbermaid containers like in one area. My husband is actually this is why he keeps I've got a box right here of stuff. He keeps bringing me boxes of stuff from the basement to sell. And I think it's because he's actually trying to make me a space in the basement, like a bigger space in the basement to work out of. Because I've sort of like run out of space for storing things. Like right now I've got, I don't even know, I should pull them over. I've got probably 50 Wii games that he brought up that I need to get listed. So location is where the item is located. When the order comes in, I can look at location and I know where I stored it, so I can just go find it right away. When I first started, I wasn't doing that. I had like everything in a pile, and it was a disaster. It was a nightmare, and organization is key. Like you've got to be able to find the stuff right away, and keep things in good condition and take care of them. And so I'm really happy with like the container system that I'm using right now. It's working really well for me. So you can see here, under location, we've got like, this was a coat. It was a winter coat. So that was actually hung in the closet. I didn't want it to get wrinkled or like folded up in a container. And these are in like the Rubbermaid. They're like this big. They're pretty big Rubbermaid containers. So this is in the one that I've labeled A. Here's B, A, B, A, C. So I just know when I make a sale, I go down to that container, open up container C, and I've just written like on a piece of paper a C and put it on all 4 sides. I open up C and there's the item, and it's really convenient. I never lose anything. I'm going to knock on wood as I say it, because the last thing I want to do is now lose something, because I said I've never lost an item. But I haven't been doing that great with it lately. I've been listing because I've been doing these DVDs that my husband gave me. I've been listing and then I'm not immediately putting them into the storage containers. And so I have actually spent the last 2 days getting completely caught up on making sure everything that's listed is also on the spreadsheet and the location is in there and it's put away. Cause I don't know. I would like lay in bed and think about it. Like, oh my God, what if one of these DVDs goes missing? Or, I mean, who knows what could happen? Like the kids don't realize that I have it for sale and they open up a brand new one because a lot of these are still sealed. It's possible. So location is pretty important. And I have spent the last couple of days trying to get caught up on that. The next column is what I actually listed the item for on eBay. So price listed. So you can see in this case, this was a pair of men's jeans. They cost me $0 and I listed them for $11.99. And so I just put in the original list price. Now that is not always what they sell for because I'm always accepting offers. And sometimes I drop the price if it's gone long enough and there's no activity, I'll lower the price. So we've got the price that it's listed at originally, the date that I listed it, and this is really important because I'm always trying to track my sell-through rate. So I've got the date that I listed it and the date that the item sold. In this case, this was like, I thought eBay was the bomb, right? Like I had just started, I listed this on June 29th and it sold on July 1st. And I was like, whoa, this is so easy. No, you know what it's like? That's like Vegas. It's like when you go to Vegas. For some reason, when people go to Vegas for the first time, they win. They always win. They win like big, like they'll win a jackpot. And then they're sucked in and they think it's easy and it's not, right? There wouldn't be casinos if everyone was winning. eBay did the same thing to me. I had this quick sale and I was like, this is super easy. No, no, that's not accurate. Anyways, so I have the date listed. And on the next column, I have the date sold. And then the column after that, I actually have a formula in there to tell me what the sell-through rate is. If you're interested, if you wanted to track this yourself, the formula is right up here. And basically it's equals dated, DATED, if, and then parentheses. And you're going to do your first column, which is your date listed. In my case, it was F2. Your second column, which is the date sold. In my case, that's G2. And then in quotations, D. And that is going to tell you the number of days. The D in quotations is for days because you could do the sell-through rate by day, month, year. So the D stands for days. So that's going to tell you how many days it took to sell through. So in this case, that one took 2 days. You can go a little bit further down and you can see here I had this J. Crew coat right here. And that one I listed on June 30th and it didn't sell until August 23rd, which made it a 54-day sell-through rate. So that sell-through rate is really important to me. I want to know how many days these items took to sell because if I have something that sells really quick, I want to see if it's going to do that over and over again. If it's an item that I can replenish or I can look for when I'm out thrifting, right? So like here, I had some Birkenstock sandals. Those took 13 days to sell. That's phenomenal. But then as you go down a little further, here's a sweater. It's a Liz Sport sweater. I was going to say I'd put it here, but I got this going on.
Liz?
Yeah, Liz, right? Liz Sport. It's super retro, vintage. It's really cool. And it has been listed since June 30th. It is now November, and that thing still has not sold. I've lowered the price. I've done...
Guys, help!
No, please stop that. I've done all kinds of things, and it's just not moving. And it's super vintage. I don't know why it's not moving. But so like that, okay, that you can see here where it says the number, that means that it hasn't sold yet. And so that, because I just dragged that formula all the way down to the bottom. So, for these, where you see that, pound, NUM, exclamation point. It just means that the formula isn't completed yet because it doesn't have a date sold. Okay. So if I scroll down, actually I'll do it this way. You can see where all my sales, that my sales are green, but you can see like we've got 58 days, 22 days, 9 days, 55 days for that Brophy word jar. This was a cheer kangaroo plush. It took 65 days to sell, but I picked it up at a garage sale for $0. So, I mean, I can't complain. But as you go further down, you'll notice more of these incomplete formulas because these are items that I've listed sooner and they have not sold yet. This was a whole big Walmart haul that I did that's just not moving. I'm hoping maybe now as we get closer to Christmas, maybe they'll move. I probably need to promote them, and I haven't yet. But as we go further, you can see like down here, this is all the new DVDs that I just recently listed. And so obviously those do not have a sell-through rate yet because they have not sold. Here's a bunch that did though. That's bonus. My next column is the final sale price. So that's the actual price that the item sold for. It's not necessarily what I listed it for, it's what it sold for. Whether I sent an offer out to someone or I had lowered the price over time, or they sent an offer and I accepted it, or just sold for full price, which also happens. So if we go down like here, well, I listed this for $21.99 and it sold for $21.99. Let's see. Okay, so this was a pair of Banana Republic pumps right here.
What are those?
They're shoes. They're high heels. They were really nice. I thought they were going to be phenomenal. I bought them for $5 at the Goodwill, and I initially listed them for $36.99. That was on July 12th, and nothing happened. I mean, like 5 views. I checked the keywords, I updated the descriptions, I did all kinds of stuff, and nothing. And so I started lowering the price slowly over time. And eventually on August 24th, which was 43 days, which is not that long, but at the time I was like really trying to push to get my sales up. Someone offered me $20 and I accepted it. I still made a $15 profit, right? But not what I listed it for when I initially put it up there. So the next column is whether or not the shipping was paid by the buyer. So I just put a Y if it's a yes. For me, almost all the time, the shipping is paid by the buyer. I am super nervous to do free shipping. I do it occasionally, but not very often. I need to figure out how to do that and not be scared. Most of mine are going to be a Y. You can see here's one where it's an N, which means I paid the shipping. And then if I did pay the shipping, the next column is the shipping paid by me. So I actually put the amount that it cost if I paid any shipping. Most of the time though, I didn't pay the shipping, the buyer did. So nothing goes in the next column. I just make it a 0. The column after that is fees. And that is things like listing fee if there was one. I never go over my free listings, which is sitting at 200 right now. Or final value fees. That was my initial intent with this column. But what I realized was at the end of the month, eBay just sends you one big invoice for what you owe. So instead of adding it in individually in the items, what I wound up doing was, if we go down, we're going to look for some yellow. You can see this yellow that I added in is the eBay monthly charge. And so I just put the fees right there for that whole month. At that month, it was $93.87, which puts me at a negative in my profit because it's taking it out. Now, as of yesterday, I got switched to managed payments, which is new. So I may start using this fees column again because my understanding is now that I'm on managed payments, they're going to take the fees out of each individual item before the money comes through to me. That's my understanding. So I need to look a little more into managed payments because this is new. Like how do I pay do I wait until I get the payment in my account to ship? I don't know. I don't know. Has anyone else done managed payments? Because I'm a little nervous. I'm sure it's going to be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. So fees I have not been using, but I think I probably will start now that each item is going to have the fees taken out of it immediately. I'll start tracking it that way. And then my last column is my final profit for that item. So this is my final profit on each individual item. And then I'll show you how I'm sort of tracking all the time because that's not including the listing fees. So let's go down here. All right. We have this honeybee salt and pepper shaker. It was really cute. I got it at TJ Maxx. So it's $3.50. And I listed it at $13.99 on July 21st. On August 12th, which was 22 days later, I got an offer for $9.50, which I accepted. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have held out, but I like profit. So I sold it for $9.50, meaning I bought it for $3.50 and I sold it for $9.50. And so what I do is this formula is column I, which is my final sale price, minus shipping, which is column K, minus fees, which is column L, minus the cost of purchase, which is column B. In this case, there was no shipping because the buyer paid the shipping and the fees came out in a lump sum. So that individual item was just a $6 profit. And then at any point in time, I can basically go in. You'll see if I paid for something, like I bought these shoes for $10, it's gonna show up in the profit column as a negative right now because that's money I'm out. It has not sold yet. If anyone wants some really cute open toe high heel sandals, I got them. But it'll show a negative, so I can always sort of track where I'm at based on what I've spent versus what I've sold. So what I do is I'll actually go here and I'll highlight, let's just highlight a month. Where's some yellow? Okay. So you can see, it looks like I didn't actually do the screen record far enough down, so I'm not sure if you can see the sum. But in that case, and that looks like about a little over 2 months of inventory purchases, sales, lump sum fees, any shipping that was in there. My profit for that period, $662.36, which is not bad. I am not complaining in any way about that. That's fantastic. That's $600 that I didn't have before. And I can actually, let's just, for curiosity's sake, look at everything we've got out there right now. These free DVDs are making a big difference. Okay, so if we look at everything from beginning to now, I'm actually at $574 profit. Now that's because I've got a lot of purchases out there that have not yet sold. So you can see, like in this case, these are a bunch of, and I only got these in September, October, but this is a bunch of thrift store purchases, and you can see here, those are showing up as negatives. We've got, yeah, all these negatives. Like these shoes were $50. They had not sold yet, right? So that's $50 that's sort of just held up in inventory right now. But this is how I track everything. I'll show you over here. On the next tab over is where I kind of keep track of my Amazon. And it's basically the same thing. I've got the item, the number of the item that I purchased, how many I purchased, where I purchased it, whether or not I got it on clearance. In this case, for Amazon, it makes a big difference. If it's clearance, it's unlikely that I can replenish it unless it goes on clearance again. So I'm always kind of trying to keep an eye on stuff that isn't on clearance but still makes a profit on Amazon. I've got the cost of the purchase, the total cost for all. So in this case, I bought 2 of those at $1.50, so the cost of all was $3. When I'm entering it into Amazon, what the FBA low price is, that doesn't necessarily mean it's what I'm gonna list it at, but it's like that's kind of to me like the lowest I'm gonna get, right? So we've got the low price, the estimated Amazon fees, shipping, and that's an estimate based on what my shipping costs are over time. The number sold, and you can see this is where I'm not tracking. I have not been tracking the number sold, because I'm just going into Amazon's analytics to sort of track that stuff. And then the profit on one item and the profit for all items if I sell all of the items in that group that I send in. So that is my spreadsheets. I hope it's interesting. I hope you found some value. I'd love to know how you guys sort of manage your inventory and track your sales and keep track of stuff. I'm hoping I also keep all of my receipts for anything I purchase, whether it's a thrift store. The only time I really can't do that is at a garage sale. So that come tax time, I'm prepared. I've got a spreadsheet. I can show you everything that I purchased, how much I spent on it. So that hopefully it will be a bit of an easier process. It'll be my first time paying taxes on that kind of thing. But I hope you found it interesting. If you did, if there was any value in it, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. Obviously, if you'd like to like and subscribe, that would be awesome. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers so that I can reapply for Amazon's affiliate marketing program, which they denied me on. Rude. No, I'm just kidding. They're not rude. They're fine. Amazon, you're fine. You're totally fine. I get it. But maybe give it a like, give it a subscribe, and I hope everyone's having a beautiful day. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Wash your hands. Wear a mask, because I got one kid's school closed, and if the other one's closed, whoo! It'll be fine. Trevor, do you want to say bye real quick?
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.